A very good afternoon to one and all present here. I see a big gathering of teachers here. We are all teachers, teaching fraternity. I take pleasure in being a part of this program. I wholeheartedly thank HRDC, Dr. Nanjun Swami sir, my guide, Professor Ningama ma'am, for giving me this opportunity. I know this is today is your third day of this refresher course. Just now I was talking with Nanjun Swami sir. So sir said not only teacher educators, teachers from other disciplines also are here. So it is my pleasure to be a part of this presentation. So I would like to start with this beautiful quote. Teachers are special people because of all they symbolize and stand for. They are glowing lamps illuminating the darkness of ignorance. I repeat, glowing lamps illuminating the darkness of ignorance. They are skilled potters, molding and forming the tender young minds and hearts entrusted to their care. Devoted gardeners tending and nurturing the budding plants in their garden patch, helping them to blossom and bloom through their care and concern. And finally, teachers are friends, philosophers, and guides, and sometimes parent substitutes as well. Good afternoon once again. So my topic is collaborative approach. And I'm Jayasheela from St. Joseph's College of Education. So first of all, I would like to brief you about what I'm going to talk in this session. I'm going to talk about the definition, the theories behind collaborative learning, steps of collaborative approach, the aim, key features, benefits, strategies, types, importance, the role of teachers, examples of collaborative learning, advantages and disadvantages. Okay, so now what is collaborative learning? So even in our student days, we would have been part of this this technique. But our teachers wouldn't have told us that this is collaborative learning. Collaborative learning is an educational approach in which students study in groups. So group studies we have done, we have had group discussions, we have learned a lot. So this is to enhance the students' learning outcomes. Students come together to perform tasks, they work on projects and understand new concepts. This helps students to defend their places, reframe ideas, understand other person's points of view, and aids in better understanding of a subject. We all know that during our group studies or group discussion, we did learn a lot from our peers. What they know, they knew, they shared with us. What we knew, we shared with them. So there was a lot of learning which happened due to this group discussion. Another definition says, collaborative learning is an educational approach to teaching and learning that involves groups of learners work together to solve a problem, to complete a task, and or create a product. So there is problem solving, a task is completed, or a product is created by this method. Collaborating learning involves groups of students and teachers collaborating on a joint intellectual efforts. It's not only the students, even the teacher acts as a facilitator in this approach. The majority of the time, students work in groups of 2 or more people seeking understanding, solutions, or creating something together. It is a method of education in which a group of students, two or more, attempt to learn something together using group projects, assignments, etc. In this type of learning, students get the opportunity to learn from others' skills and resources. Didn't we enjoy this form of learning where the teacher was there? We all pooled in our ideas, we spoke with each other, we gave our views, and the teacher put everything together and gave a final conclusion. This was developed from the theories of Abraham Maslow, Paulo Freire, and inspired by the ideas of Lev Vygotsky, and even not to forget Piaget. So mainly, let us talk about some aspects put forth by Vygotsky and Piaget. Vygotsky gives a lot of stress on social interaction, whereas Piaget talks about child studying or developing knowledge on its own. Lev Vygotsky's social learning theory puts an emphasis on the importance of social interaction for the development of learning and cognition. He believed that community was an important factor in the process of creating meaning and knowledge. Vygotsky's theory approaches learning from a socio-cultural viewpoint, arguing that individual development does not happen without being informed by social and cultural contexts. An important aspect of Vygotsky's social learning theory is the zone of proximal development, where the child moves from an area where he doesn't know to an area where he has learned something with the help of MKOs, that is more knowledgeable others. Piaget, on the other hand, sets out an understanding of how infants and children develop their understanding of their world and how they become able to use reason and thought to develop hypotheses. His theory, as I told you, states that as children grow, they construct an understanding of the world around them, experience discrepancies between their understanding and their experience, then correct those discrepancies through reorganizing their mental processes. He gives more importance to schemas, what he calls the new concept of schema, which he defined as units of knowledge, the basic building blocks that allow humans to organize knowledge and understand complex concepts. So these are the stages of Piaget's cognitive development theory. He says the child from birth to 2 years is in the stage of sensory motor, where he learns to form mental representations. Mental representations are nothing but the schemas which I mentioned. This is when a child will develop object permanence. So the highlight of the sensory motor stage is object permanence. Pre-operational stage, this is from 2 to 7 years. Here, the child develops symbolic thinking. The concrete operational stage from 7 to 11 years is the beginning of using of logic to work things out in their head rather than needing to learn concepts physically. And the fourth stage, that is the formal operational stage, this begins from 11 or 12 years up forward. It's a stage when full logical cognition is possible, including working outcomes where they learn from the environment. So coming back to collaborative approach, the steps are as follows. Here, a problem is given, might be by the teacher or the head of the group. Groups are formed, formation of groups take place, sharing of ideas in the groups take place, then teacher facilitates the learning and she gives feedback at the end. So these are the steps. We shall move slowly one by one. So as we know, the collaborative approach, the main aim is it involves pupils working together. So when they are together, lot of idea sharing happens. Working together on activities or learning tasks in a group small enough to ensure that everyone participates. If it's a huge group, what happens? There is dominance of some students who are very bright, who are who take up the role of leaders in the group, and the others are subsided. They are not able to participate in the group. So here we bring collaboration among all the participants of the group. So smaller the group, better is the interaction and learning happens in a better way. So what are the key factors or the key features of the collaborative approach? The first one is purpose of the activity. The collaborative learning helps to satisfy the purpose of the activity with equal and distributed efforts to all team members. So as I told you, whatever the purpose is, that should be made known to the participants or the group members, and so that all of them get ready to work together. Individual learning goals. It helps the students to accept new challenges and work on different parts of the projects with help of other students. So it is the role of the teacher here to divide the concepts of that particular problem or the concept, the project, so that each one of them know what their role is and they participate and contribute to the whole learning. Enhancing friendships and teamwork. This helps the students to make friends across the institute having same interests and build a series of network. So they learn to be together. So we know when they work in teams, lot of values they learn. So team spirit, then friendship, leadership, coordination, cooperation, all such values are built in the students. Building of new relationships help students to meet new students, learn about their lives, cultures, and work with them. So what happens when they work together? So they are meeting new people. So when they meet them, they try to learn good things from them. So they emulate their values and they learn to work with them. And delegation of skills here, distributing the responsibilities of work with all the participants is very important in this group, in this approach. Okay. What are the benefits here? So we discussed about how what are the key factors or the key features of the collaborative approach. Here, what happens is make students proactive during the learning process. So they come on their own to do some work. So they know the goal, they know their goals, they know the main intention of the group. So they try to put in their strengths in the group work. So the second one helps them learn others' perceptions and views. So I'm putting forth my views and I learn from the others also. Helps them develop their thinking abilities. So their thinking abilities are developed because they're working together, they're seeing others who are doing well. His viewpoints are also accepted by others, so he gets motivated. So his thinking abilities also improves. Fourth, builds the habit of taking and giving constructive criticism. So he accepts constructive criticism and at the same time tries to give feedback and constructive criticism to the others also. The fifth one builds public speaking and active listening skills. So communication is developed a lot when we work in groups. So when I'm isolated, I read. That's it. I learn, I gain knowledge. But when we are in groups, when we interact, our communication, our public speaking also is enhanced. Finally, it helps the students to develop team working capability. So there should be endurance, tolerance when we work together. You cannot show only what you cannot say that my viewpoints only should be accepted. I need to listen to others also and accept their viewpoints also. So proceeding further, it encourages peer learning. So here peers are put together students of the same age could be put together as groups. So the students learn from their fellow learners. They explain new ideas and concepts to each other better than the teacher. Many a times they learn better in groups than what they learn from the teacher. It enables critical thinking. The students discuss ideas in groups, give feedback to each other, understanding and evaluating others' ideas and opinions, improve critical thinking among students. Next, enables problem solving. So there is one problem given. Just imagine that one problem is given for the whole group, which has to be solved. Here, there is a group of, say, 5 or 6 students. Each of them are enthusiastic to solve the problem. Each one of them think in different perspectives. But when they are in a group, they try to put in their ideas and try to come out with some solution. Each one of them will be required to solve one part to complete the task, hence improving problem solving abilities. So by doing this in small groups, they are able to solve problems in their future life also. Improves communication skills. Working together improves communication skills as the students discuss opinions and ideas, conduct debates, and speak their minds. So we know as teachers how much communication is important. If I think so, many of you are in our teacher educators, we give much importance to communication skill. So recently in our college, we did have our communication skill workshop. The newcomers, the first year students, many of them had not faced the audience. So when I asked them the feedback, they said, "Ma'am, this is the first time I am facing the audience." So such concepts or such skills are developed when they are working together. Improves cultural awareness. Students from different cultures are studying in school. They may have different ideas, beliefs. This will increase students' cultural awareness. So it is always better that some topics could be selected for collaborative approach. Put them in groups, ask them to come together, try to build their own aspirations and perceptions and put forth that in their way of understanding. Here, individually also they benefit, organizationally as a group also they benefit a lot of things. Now, individually, what are the benefits of this collaborative approach? This turns learning into a truly active process. Now, here I cannot see you people. I'm sitting here on the other side. Even in classrooms, when there is a lecture method, I don't know how many of them are really listening. So it may become monotonous. I try to give lecture for 1 hour and the receiver, how far they are active, I don't know. They become passive listeners. But when it is a group event, all of them are actively participating. I told you that they become proactive. So this promotes learning from others' viewpoints also. Not only what I think about that perspective, what others also view, that also is understood by the members of the group. Teaches how to think critically and quickly. So I may not accept everything what others say. I and understand it from different perspectives. I put it across and we try to think critically and quickly also. Promotes listening to criticism and advice. So we are in a group. After the solution of a particular problem, there is feedback. It might be positive, negative. So criticisms might be there. Advice to do better for the next time also is learned from by this method. Develops public speaking and active listening skills, I told you, and improves cooperation. They learn to work together. They cooperate, and because it's a team effort, they want the team to gain a name, to get a name. So they learn together, they sit together and cooperate and learn whatever is given to them. Now that was individual. Now the organizational benefits of collaborative learning. What do they learn when they are in a group? Organizational benefits. It develops self-management and leadership skills. So because they are in a group, one might be a leader. So he develops leadership skills, how to manage the group he learns, increases employee skills and knowledge. Here, how should I behave in a group? What should I take from the project or the problem which is given to me? So this skill is developed. Improves relationships across teams and departments. So the relationship, now I'm going to tell you about various methods of or various types of collaborative approach. So one such method is we work in groups and we share what we have learned. Improves knowledge acquisition and retention. So since the children are working on their own, so they learn, and because it is their own effort, retention also is maximum here. Improves employee retention or student retention, and promotes workplace engagement. Here, because it is a teamwork, they want to promote what they have learned here. So this skill also is developed by this method. So success, the teamwork brings about, there's a goal. So they want to be successful. There is a vision and they have their skills. All this put together brings about effective learning. What are the strategies of collaborative approach? So there should be some strategies. So first of all, clarifying the group responsibilities. So now the work of the teacher as a facilitator comes. So I am going to make groups. Making a group is not the end. I should give or assign responsibilities to each member of the group. Before starting the work assignment, it is better to define everyone's goals in the group, which will later help them to take accountability for the tasks. So everyone learning everything is not the aim of this method. Each person is assigned a different work so that they learn that completely, and more learning happens when they come and put together. Encourage open communications. Open and honest conversations and trust among the group members will help them understand the concepts better and learn thoroughly. So it is the work of the teacher to bring about this coordination among the members of the group. So she or he should ensure that trust is developed among the members of the group. So they should be open, and honest conversation should be there among the group members. Conduct a pre-test and a post-test. So this pre-test, post-test concept is very effective to make sure that the students have learned something after this venture. The instructors can evaluate the students before and after the group learning sessions to understand the outcomes of collaborative learning. So before, what was their understanding? After this collaborative approach, what have they understood? Assess the learning process. So assessment comes here, evaluation comes here. So it is well known that the students grow and learn through the process of collaborative learning. So through various communication arguments, hence they should be assessed for what they have learned. Use strategies like the jigsaw technique. So this is one technique I shall explain to you. It involves sharing of knowledge and information obtained in the sessions to other teams. So there are different teams. In one team, each one is given one concept. The same concept is given to another group also. So after that, they share what they know, and that's how the whole group ends up learning the concepts. This allows one to become thorough in their subject and helps to help others also. The sixth point, allow group activities to reduce anxiety. See, when I am alone, I learn for the benefit of getting knowledge. When I'm in a group, I have to ensure that some learning is happening by seeing others, by observing others and learning from their viewpoints. Allow some humor and entertainment activities in collaborative learning to reduce tension and anxiety among the students. So it shouldn't become monotonous. So when we are talking about lecture method and other such methods, it is very monotonous. When it is group activity, individuality is enhanced, and it is the role of the teacher to bring in some lighter moments also, reduce tension by this humor. This will happen in creating a friendly environment among the learners. So learners also shouldn't get bored. So they try to build a cordial relationship, and they become friendly and they learn a lot. Make use of real world problems. So learning happens so that they put they what to say they use this in their future lives. Instead of creating artificial scenarios and issues, the student
जैकेट मत पहनना जैकेट भी पहन तुम्ही ने बोला था नीचे ये वाली बनियान पहनूंगी मम्मी ऊपर से मैं जैकेट पहन लूंगी
Instead of creating artificial scenarios and issues, the students can use real life examples to find solutions. This will improve project-based learning. So that is another method which I shall explain to you later. Focus on enhancing problem solving and critical thinking skills. Give assignments to the students in such a way that they give provision for varied solutions and perceptions. So when we are talking about collaborative approach, giving assignments or giving them a project to do it individually also is part of this assignment. When they bring back, we can sit together and see what each one of them have brought after learning and doing it individually. Form diverse groups with mixed people from different countries, genders, and races, if possible. Because in our schools, we have students coming from the same country, might be. So you can put students of different caliber together so that I can bring about diversity in my group. Give scope for new ideas, varied talents, and learning styles. Further, it helps the students to expand their learning horizons. Makes use of technology for better learning outcomes. Yes. So as teachers, we know how much technology helps us. During COVID time, we have COVID has really helped us to become techno savvy. We have learned a lot of technology because of this period. So make use of. Many a times we learn technology, but when it comes to using it in the classrooms, we hesitate because time is the barrier. Okay, we need to complete portions, but you can utilize technology to do all this. Integration of education with technology increases opportunities for the students to indulge in various other activities. Many a times we learn from our students. Students are better oriented or better, they know technology better than us. So don't hesitate to learn from your students. So involve them in use of technology, and they can be helpful in doing so. Okay. What are the different types of collaborative learning? So here we have the first one is the think, pair, share. Then we have the informal collaborative groups, the formal collaborative groups, problem-based learning, collaborative-based learning. So these are some of the types of collaborative learning. Jigsaw also is one of them. We shall study one by one. So what is this think, pair, share? So we use this during our practice teaching, micro teaching sessions. So here what happens is they learn a lot by doing so. It's the role of the teacher to give them a concept to learn. This is the most common type of collaborative learning in which the students work independently before And then they exchange in discussions in such a way that it exchanges information and ideas among themselves. Now the concept is given to the students. Each one of them think. So they think in the classroom. Teachers begin by asking a specific higher level question about the text or topic students will be discussing. Students think about what they know or have learned about the topic for a given amount of time. So initially 1 or 3 minutes is given. 1 or 2 minutes is given to them to think. So that's the first step. Now after thinking, what happens? They are paired. So each student should be paired with another student. So thinking was done individually. Now pairing happens. So teacher pairs one student with another student. Teachers may choose whether to assign pairs or let students pick their own partner. So the teacher's role is either to assign the pairs. I myself can say A can pair with B, C with D, whatever, or I can allow the students to find their own partners. Be sensitive to learners' needs. So it should be reading skills, attention skills, or language skills when creating pairs. So we know there are different, we have different types of students. Some are high achievers, some are average, some are mediocres, some are slow learners. So when we pair them, we should see that transfer of learning takes place. Students share their thinking with their partners, discuss ideas, and ask questions of their partners about that particular topic. So this is for 2 or 5 minutes, where they pair, they exchange their views, they interact with each other. So here my perspective is put across, and the other person, the person who is paired with me, also put in his or her perspective. So we discuss and we come to a conclusion. Pairing happens. And after that, the last stage is sharing. Once partners have had ample time to share their thoughts and have a discussion, teachers expand the share into a whole class discussion. So pairs can be brought to the forefront of the class, and they will share it with the whole class. Allow each group to choose who will present their thoughts, ideas, and questions they had to the rest of the class. So two of them are there. Any one of them can share it to the whole class. After the class share, you may choose to have pairs reconvene to talk about how their thinking perhaps changed as a result of the share element. After sharing, we can ask the students what is their feedback. How did they learn by the sharing of the others? So this becomes a very effective method, think, pair, share. So concepts can be given to the students. We should guide them, we should facilitate them, ask them how to go about with it. But the process is first they think, then they pair, then they share.
Madam, it is like, madam.
Tell me, sir.
Sir, it's like our 5E constructivism theories then. No?
Yes, yes.
The second step we choose to follow the same, like exploring.
Explore. We
Explore.
can have this activity for the explore stage.
Okay.
We can utilize this activity for the explore stage. It will be a very effective activity. But usually what happens is they shouldn't take much time, because explore stage is limited to say 5 minutes or so. So you should, as a facilitator, check whether they can finish it within this time. Anyhow, we are making them groups, you're giving them concepts, they learn a lot, they can share it, and your exploring stage is done. Okay. Then the next method is the jigsaw. Jigsaw is a cooperative learning, is another word for collaborative learning strategy that asks groups of students to become experts on different aspects of a topic and then share what they learn with their classmates. Now I shall explain this in detail to you. Here what happens is, suppose I have 5 different groups I call them as group A, B, C, D, E. Each comprising, this is an example, each comprising of 6 members. 5 groups, or 6 groups, 6 members, whatever. Each group of 6 members, for each member, I will give them one different concept. Okay, so each might be one subunit I am teaching. So each group member is given one concept. So the same topic is taken to group B. There also I divide or distribute the concepts to the 6 members. Same in C, group D, group E. So same concepts to different group members. Afterwards, this is called the jigsaw group. I have made 5 jigsaw group. Let me stick to 5. 5 jigsaw groups. Each group has 6 members. Now what happens? In group A, I shall call them as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 members are there. Group member 1 of A, group member 1 of B, group member 1 of C, D and E. The ones form a group. All of them are given same concepts. Okay, likewise, all the 2s of all the groups make another group. All this third 3 numbers, they are made different groups. So I have another separate group of 6 members. They are called the expert groups. So suppose I'm talking about atoms and molecules. I have given the concept of atom to group member 1 of A, group number 1 of B. All of them are talking about atoms. So all these will come together and discuss more about atoms. Likewise, group B, group number 2 also will be talking about some other aspects. Now, from the experts group, they exchange ideas. Then they learn a lot by looking at their peers or listening to their views. So they learn a lot. And after that, the expert group members come back to their jigsaw groups. So they have learned in their expert groups, they come back to their jigsaw groups, and here they share what they have learned in the expert group to the group members. So group A, all of them have learned in their expert groups. They come back and again there is a presentation of what they have learned in the expert group, and sharing of views, sharing of knowledge happens. So this is like the jigsaw puzzle. You can see the picture here where they unlock and lock between them. So learning happens in small groups. A jigsaw group is formed. From the jigsaw group, they move to the expert group and they learn a lot, come back to the jigsaw group and share what they have learned. So this is again another collaborative learning approach where students learn by sharing their viewpoints and ideas. Next, let us move to the informal learning groups. In the informal learning groups, what happens is these groups are short term. They need not be together. So like the jigsaw group, what happened? They have to be together till that project or till that problem is solved. Here, they are not structured. A topic is given to them. Might be we have students sitting in a bench in a row. I will give each row one topic. They can discuss with their partners sitting next to them. And what happens? They typically involve activities where classmates turn to a neighbor to discuss a problem or concept for a few minutes. So time is given and they discuss. Informal groups are generally small, usually 2, but no more than 3. It shouldn't be a group of 5, 6. That doesn't serve the purpose. So this is an informal learning group. It's more convenient to use informal learning groups for quick activities such as checking for understanding, brainstorming, quick problem solving, summarizing, or review. So here what happens? These groups are a great way to exchange up a lecture format by giving students a few minutes to discuss the concept with his or her neighbor. So as I told you, 2 or 3 members could be in this informal learning group. I'm not going to make a group, no formalities, nothing. A concept is given, allowed the students sitting next to each other or a small group can be made for tentatively for a few minutes. Now comes the formal learning group. What happens in the formal learning group is, this is just the opposite of the informal. They are assigned a task or project, and they stay together until it is complete. So they have to complete the task. They have to see if it is a project, says they have to prepare something. So until finally they finish the project, they have to stay together. There is a clear structure to these groups set by the teacher that includes task and behavior expectations. So here, this group is structured so that the outcome should be good. Formal learning groups can be heterogeneous or homogeneous depending on the assignment. So when I'm talking about heterogeneous or homogeneous, here I can have a mixed group of different opinions, or a mediocre, a high achiever, a slow learner. I can form various groups. It's left to the teachers. Teacher can do this. Most groups perform well with 3 to 4 people. Anything more than 5 can become unproductive. Sorry. Doing a project, solving a series of problems, reviewing for a test, or writing a report, all these examples follow a formal learning groups, and the product, the final outcome will be better because all are working towards the success of that particular project or a problem. Problem-based learning. So in this approach, a problem is given for learners in a group to assess and solve. Here, the students are required to understand the problem before proposing a solution. So a problem is given, they sit together, they understand they identify what they need to know and to solve. Students learn and apply to solve the problem here. So this method, there are various examples here. The problem-based learning has overlaps with inquiry-based learning also. Here also, the teacher presents a problem and the students must develop a study to inquire about the answers. So problem is given, they have to bring about a solution. That's why it is called problem-based learning. Solving a riddle also is an example. The teacher presents a riddle, so the students have to work together. Some clues are given, and finally, they have to come out with the solution. Then we have the cooperative based groups. These groups are different from the previous two in that they are long-term support groups. So here what happens is it's a long-term commitment. It might be for 1 semester or 1 year. A big problem is given, a project is given. Since they are long-term commitments, typically these groups become more than just academic problem solving groups. They become sometimes personal support systems for each other. They build relationships and trust during the duration of their cooperating learning process. And each one of them, they support each other, they share their knowledge, they come to the help of others, and finally they come out with good outcomes. Now, what are the importance of collaborative learning development among the students? Collaborative learning enables development of communication and social skills among the students. So at the end, they have to come out with some solution. So for that, they need communication. So they know how to behave in a society. So in a group also, they try to learn a lot. It enables the students to learn and develop good habits and gain knowledge from their peers. The students are required to distribute responsibilities, work together, and trust each other. So what happens here is it is a a planned group. So lot distributing responsibilities and seeing that work is done is the role of the teacher. Students become comfortable in sharing their ideas, discussing strategies, and expressing themselves in a group. Further, it helps them to build a network of people in different fields. It helps students to gain confidence and develop important skills which are useful for their future life. So that was what the students benefit. Here, what is the role of the teacher? So as I told you, it is a collaborative approach is successful when teacher plays a vital role here. Forming groups and helping students with good environments and activities. So I, as a teacher, should be a facilitator in the group. I'm not going to tell them or teach them nothing. I just have to build a bond between the students, and I should form groups in such a way that work progresses. Giving opportunities and tasks that promote collaborative learning. I should give tasks, problems, projects, assignments so that it promotes collaborative learning. Structure the groups in such a way that it involves diversity. So as I told you earlier, when I'm making a group, I should see that diverse groups are formed so that better learning happens. Offer resources and study materials to the students. So whenever required, they may come to you. So give them some help so that they can proceed at their own pace. Conduct assessments of the students in groups. So the role of the teacher is to evaluate and conduct assessment also at the end after the group activity is conducted. Now, what are the examples of collaborative learning? So working on projects is an example. So you can see a project is given, students are working on a project, they are involved in some activity. Projects involve people working together in groups, carrying out different activities, discussing ideas, forming opinions, justifying opinions, and other communication aspects. It also improves the listening abilities of the students as they understand other people's perspectives on the same topic and give them feedback. So to learn something, they should learn to listen also. So that is enhanced by working together. So working on projects is one such example of collaborative learning. Conducting plays and drama. So in our curriculum, we have drama pedagogy, wherein a particular concept is exhibited through a drama. So in this, by doing so, all the members of that group join together, play their role. So we did have certain dramas, and this is some of our students performing. And very less time was there, but still they performed their role so well. This was one of the role from Merchant of Venice, the court scene. Conducting plays, playing characters, understanding various parts and roles, and understanding the depth of various responsibilities to make the play successful helps the students to work in teams, distribute responsibilities, and take necessary decisions. It makes them responsible adults for the future. Many a times, more learning happens when such plays and dramas are organized in the classrooms. It need not have a costly costume and makeup and all that. Nothing. You must see how well the students come out with ideas. They have their own ideas to represent certain things. So leave them, they come out. They have a lot of creativity, enthusiasm in them. So they plan, they organize and execute the plan, and beautifully the drama, the concept is learnt by the cooperation and collaboration of all the members of the group. So the conducting plays and dramas is yet another example of collaborative learning. Games and competitions. Conducting games and competitions forming various groups or individuals increased team spirit and competitiveness among the students. So play, game, all this develop a lot of qualities in them. They learn to play together and cooperate. They learn to accept success and failure. They know to help each other. Further, forming teams and playing or performing together makes them trust other students, build compatibility, and ensure excellent group ethics in the team. So, games and competitions are another example of collaborative learning. Group discussions. Group discussions on a topic help the students to improve their communication skill. So various topics are given to the students. They discuss in groups and they come out with a presentation after discussion. So this will help them to put in their ideas, search for information, who will present what. Okay, so they know their roles and responsibilities. So this enhances knowledge. So it enables them to express their ideas and put those ideas in proper words and make them understandable to others. Further, it helps them become better listeners. So these are about the various examples. There are many more examples. You can think of them pertaining to your subject, and the only criteria is put them together. You be a facilitator and see that work is done. Learning happens. So I think so. From this, we can come to the advantages of collaborative method. So at this point, I would want to ask if anybody has any doubts or something, want to share. Shall I proceed? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. It promotes social and intellectual involvement. So they are working together, their social skills are promoted. So by being together, by learning, being together.
Ma'am, can I?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
This is
Ruchi madam, you are not audible properly.
Not audible. Okay, once I finish, I think so we shall have the discussion session. Okay, promote social and intellectual involvement. So here, knowledge is also shared and they learn a lot. Cultivation of teamwork, community building, and leadership skills is another advantage. So they learn to work in teams, learn values of how to be in a team. So hence, by you are doing social service, I can say you are teaching them how to be in groups, and hence when they go out to the society, they learn to be in larger groups and leadership skills. Enhanced student satisfaction and promoting positive attitudes. Every student feels that I have been given a role, I have to do it well. I need to get appreciation from my group members and my teacher or mentor. So what happens is he tries to do his best. Finally, he is satisfied with what he does, hence promoting positive attitudes. Open expression of ideas in groups. So they need not worry. Usually, if it is a class, many of them may not open up because it's a huge class. When they are in groups of, say, 3, 4, or 5, so they open up and they express their viewpoints in their groups. Patience in hearing others. This is one aspect which we have to cultivate in our students. Students are losing their patience as days are going by. So by putting them in groups and incorporating collaborative approach, I think so students' patience in hearing others also is enhanced. Team building, yes. My group has to do better. My group has to get a better appreciation from the teacher. I have to do well. I have to be recognized. Such things are built. So they work towards it. It's not that they are saying I, but whatever they are doing is for them to promote their group. Then shared responsibility. They will, because the teacher has given each one of them different responsibility. So they try to fulfill or do their part, and hence shared responsibility is enhanced here. Okay. Enhances problem solving skills. So any problem arises in the group, all of them will put their viewpoints, all of them will work together, try to bring out a solution for that particular problem. So problem solving skills are enhanced by this method. Inspires critical thinking. So they think in different ways, so positive, negative. So this inspires critical thinking among the students, improves social interaction and supports diversity. So I said we have to form groups with diverse nature. So by doing so, social interactions are enhanced, and this supports diversity also. Aid the development of self-management skills. So students learn how to improve or develop self-management skills. So this is one such opportunity. Development of oral communication skills. So communication skills, a student who won't open up in your class will share, will discuss, will interact when put in smaller groups. So it is your duty to foster this and help the students to develop communication skills. Fosters the development of interpersonal relationships. They are working in groups. It might be formal group or informal collaborative group or whatever group. They learn to respect each other, to develop better interpersonal relationships when working together. So when we are talking about advantages, there are certain disadvantages also. So what are the disadvantages? Can I have one or two disadvantages if we follow this group or when we follow this group method?
Ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Firstly, my apologies. I think I disturbed your session once or twice. I'm so sorry, ma'am.
Okay.
Talking about disadvantages, ma'am, I think if there are unique capabilities or strengths in an individual, in group work, they kind of get a little diluted and they are unable to use and express them to the optimum.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. This is one such example. So in group, what happens? Whatever they are able to present, it gets diluted sometimes. Yes. Good, good. Anybody else would like to share?
Is if time consideration is much more, na, so we can say that it is time consuming.
Yes, yes, sir.
Cannot set this
For
type
all
of,
topics.
approaches for all the subjects.
Yes, sir. Yes, very, very true. So we cannot follow this method for all the topics every day of my class. At least once a while, you can see that such activities are there. Otherwise, it is definitely time consuming. And some topics, you cannot think of this approach at all. Very true. Okay. So here are some disadvantages. Students need to go at different speeds. You cannot pull them and hold them. Many a times what happens is some students are fast, they think very fast. So others may feel lost. They won't understand what is happening in the group. So some members of the group are lost in the group. Work gets done without some understanding. Work is done because one person there is taking up the charge, he or she is doing, he wants to think fast, want to finish fast. The others are, their potential is subsided. people try to take over the group. So there might be one dominant student who takes over and sometimes never gives a chance to the others to speak, others to give their viewpoints. So this also is a negative, this like also is a disadvantages. So the teacher definitely here also plays a vital role. I, as a teacher, as a mentor, as a facilitator, should control such activities. Quiet people are not comfortable. Some are shy natured. They are not able to express. So for such people, even in smaller groups, they are not able to express themselves. So I or the teacher can promote, can motivate, can inspire such people. Otherwise, this becomes a disadvantage. Group members do not participate equally. So along with hardworking students, even some lazy ones also will there. Some of them, without doing anything, will get credit also. If I say group A has done very well, one person in that group wouldn't have done anything, but everybody gets a credit. People don't get along properly. There are some opinions, they cannot share, they cannot agree to somebody's opinions, non-cooperation, sometimes they may fight. So the teachers should be around the groups to stop all this. So these are the disadvantages. As sir said, time consuming, you cannot use this for all the topics, and as madam said, complete potential doesn't come out when this happens, when such activities are given. So I conclude by saying collaborative learning is gaining importance in various institutions as it helps to focus on various learning aspects of the students. It helps them to improve teamwork, cognitive skills, public speaking skills, and critical thinking. Further, the students are responsible for the ideas and concepts that they build along with better learning outcomes. So at least in each semester or at the end of every two topics, two lessons, you can think about such group sessions wherein such skills, such values are enhanced, and they try to bring about that societal feeling that interpersonal, build better interpersonal relationships and promote better intellectual understanding among themselves. So now I think so we can have some discussions if you have. Some teacher educators are there. So if you think you have done something in your colleges, you can